The voicemail was a death threat, and then he called me, or had someone call me a day or two later, and what he said was, that's also on YouTube, you can watch it there, get it verbatim. What he said was, stop fucking lying, you're gonna get fucked up. And I feel like what triggered him to actually start contacting me was that I went to, I'm not sure if it's the town of Mamaroneck or the village of Mamaroneck. I lived there for a while. I sold drugs there the entire time. Not in town, but like I worked out of that town. And the police knew, were trying to catch me the entire time. So I went there, spoke with Lieutenant Officer Gata, and basically told him what was going on. And he told me, he's like, look, I just work in America, there's not a lot I can do. What I told him was that, dude, you hang out with cops, you can talk about it. And not too much later, David Alonzo called me. So, what did I tell you?
And the voicemail.
The voicemail?
That's a definite. Did you give that to anyone? Provide it to?
I sent it to Gata.
Well,
there's
so
no.
Okay, so you did send it to me.
There's no point in sending it to any other police because they don't give a fuck. It's like, at this point, I feel like it's so obvious this dude is an informant. And what I'm trying to figure out is who's given these police the authority to tell him that he can travel to California, buy kilos of cocaine and heroin and pills, and then send the shit back to New York, and then send the shit out to Florida.
You hadn't mentioned that part too.
So, I've never done any dealings in Florida,
Okay.
but he told me he goes there, and he told me that he sends shit out.
Okay.
And as far as I know, it's pills.
Okay.
And in regards to the heroin, there's been times where he went out to California, not for me, came back and told me on one particular instance that the price was too high, he didn't buy the brick, and that he took this dude's money back to Manhattan and put it in the locker where he picked it up. I don't know if it was like Penn Station or some shit like that. And the thing that is like really blowing my mind here is that in these tips, you know, there's a limited character space. So at the end of the tip, I literally wrote, please come interrogate me, interview me, and ask me questions so I can pull more information than I'm giving you right now. You know, on top of the fact that it's a limited character space.
That is.
You can only put 500 characters in there.
That is true.
How would I?
No, dude. Valid point.
And it's like multiple times. Then there's Chico, who's also an informant. I believe he definitely was at one point working for definitely working for someone by the name of, I know him as King. That's what people on Horton Avenue in New Rochelle call him. I personally never dealt with him, never had a run-in with him. One of my friends also worked for him, to the point where, like, when there were shootouts on Horton Avenue, he would send him messages or pictures of cars, asking, you know, does this car look familiar? But this guy doesn't know how to read in English or Spanish, so he would have to show it to me, and then explain to me, like, what is this?
What is it, yeah?
That's, King sent that to me, now I have to do his job, is what he was telling me. So I know Chico worked for him. I believe he also may have worked for Dave Warner. And this guy sells fentanyl-laced cocaine, to the point where he sold me fentanyl-laced cocaine. I went through about half a kilo of it. Some people said that they got very, very sick. I told him to take it back. He said he couldn't. I went to his house and gave it back to him. And then about a month later, he fucking tells me the thing that you gave me a lot of problems. It had heroin in it. Like he was wearing a fucking wire. You know what I mean? Like, the shit doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
beyond that, like his immigration status is not legal in America.
That's Dave.
Sorry?
Was that Dave? Or?
No, Dave is a cop.
Dave's cop. Okay.
I believe Chico is an informant for Dave. And that same friend that is an informant for King told me that, I want to say at the end of 2022, Chico was caught with 2 kilos in either Portchester or Norwalk. And Chico also goes out to California, not as much though. Typically, he gets his stuff sent from California to New York. I'm not sure if it's UPS or FedEx. I did meet one of his suppliers once. Don't have a lot of information about him. I know his name is Miguel, and he's a little shorter than you. Maybe a little skinnier. No, I mean, I didn't want to just throw a hide out there. It's getting to the point though where it's like I reported this shit to every jurisdiction.
Yeah, and
it's like they don't care.
I can't answer for anyone else. I can only answer for what we're doing, what we're gonna do. But I also do say, and I have been honest and transparent about the whole New York thing. We work certain.
Yeah, obviously you're not looking at New York shit unless someone brings it to you.
But even then, we now have to send it to them. So our office, our partners in New York, my office FBI in New York is the one who's going to have to get this. They're going to have to look this up. I'm going to have to send it to them. And that's the only reason I keep asking. Have you gone there? Have you asked? Talk to them? Only because it has to go there. Like, we are, to get it, we're federal, but we all have our like, areas that we work. And we don't, like, I don't cross the river over to New York just to go to work. Their cases, you don't jump over or something, you know? And that's the only reason I keep like, asking, just if you have talked to them, because
I actually called once, but I'm not sure like who I'm actually calling. You know what I mean? Like with the irregularities on my cell phone, who the fuck knows who I'm actually calling? And if you dial an FBI number, then the shit gets rerouted to somewhere else, and someone that's not in the FBI, like, gotcha. That's a fucking problem.
So now you're here, it's our building. I write this up, it will go to so they're the ones that, like, you're not going to hear from on the other side of the phone and say you're FBI, they're going to say, hey, you go ahead. And that's the only reason, like, I'm being transparent, I'm being honest with you, it's their it's their area, it's their jurisdiction.
My concern is that I don't know if they've gotten these reports or not, and if they did get these reports, why have they not contacted me?
And I don't know.
When I called, I was told that it usually takes about 3 weeks for them to contact you, and that shit was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I don't like putting on the time period on it because it just depends on what the workload is, all of the complaints that are coming in, so I don't like to put a time on it.
I understand.
I don't know. It could be a quick turnaround. Sometimes it takes a little longer. Sometimes there could be someone like doing some research on the back end and trying to piece things together, and that takes longer as well. Like, you gave me a lot of information here. Like,
and
let's start looking into some of these things, and you start like piecing together. Like, now I'll throw out an example. Like, there might be a case on it, so now I have to reach out to those people. Like, hey, how's this case? Well, what are we doing here? Who is this guy?
I'm thinking there might be a case on me, but it's like, if there is, it's like, why wouldn't you come talk to me and let me say something stupid? If I'm asking you to interrogate me, right? Doesn't that make sense? Like, I went to the DA's office
at this point
alone.
You are here, so it's like, maybe like, I reach up and it's like, oh, okay, let's go talk to him. Either way, like,
I don't know, I find it deeply, deeply concerning. Especially, like, the shit that is going on in Westchester County with, you know, local police. It's like they shouldn't even fucking be cops.
And again, that I can't look at those police departments. So we do have other correctional squads. That's gonna have to be New York. So that's also another thing. Like, I'll write this up. It's still gonna have to go to them. They're still gonna have to hear the story. And you're probably, unfortunately, gonna have to tell the whole story again.
I don't mind.
To a person.
That doesn't bother me.
You know, I'm just throwing it out there. Some people are like, I already told the other guy, and it's like, I'm just setting expectations out.
At this point, it's the right thing to do, for one. This shit just drives me crazy. Like, I pulled the White House, and, you know, when you pull the White House and you tell a White House operator that, you know, to leave a comment for the president, my comment was, local police are allowing illegal immigrants to smuggle fentanyl-laced cocaine across the fucking country, and they laugh. Like, that shit's funny.
I know that's bad.
You know what I mean? Like, and then when I gave it back to him, he went and sold it, rather than giving it back to a supplier while he's an informant. That doesn't make any fucking sense, right?
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
So, I mean, just to set expectations, like, I'm gonna write this up, it's gonna go through our system, I'm gonna prove it, it's gonna end up in New York. The only other option, if you wanted to go to New York, go right to them and tell them. Technically, it's just, it's one of those things, and it's unfortunate, like, you came to the right place, and just the wrong state.
No, I understand, and it was kind of intentional.
It'll still get there, but it has to get there, is what I'm basically. But now you also, you're getting into, like, other things too, because it seems like you have two different things. You got drug aspect of it, but you also seem to have a public corruption side of it, which again is still us, FBI. It has to be New York, that has to be.
And then there's this other thing where I left a comment on Facebook on the district attorney. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. It's like Susan Takashi, C-A-C-A-C-E. And this was at like 12:30 at night. And then my lawyer, who's fucking 80 years old, called at midnight. Within like 10 minutes leaving this comment. It's like, what does he work for the fucking district attorney? Like, none of this shit makes any sense. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fucking concerning.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can sit around and type these fucking reports all day long, but nothing happens.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But I'll write this one up, but I'll send it over to New York.
Okay.
So hopefully once they get it, you'll, like I said, unfortunate, but you don't see, like, you're too concerned that you're amendable to you might have to tell them the story.
I don't mind telling the story again.
In the meantime, it'd be helpful too, and I know you mentioned certain things, like there might have been a voicemail if you had any of that stuff.
You can follow my YouTube.
Okay.
If you want to put that on there.
Yeah.
Pakistan, America.
That'd be too sure.
I know. So it's the blackest man in America. No spaces. There's a number of playlists on there. There's like 340 videos on there. So let me see.
I mean, they're gonna have to search for it. So.
All right. Actually, you just type in David Alonzo.
Yeah.
It'll come up on that. On my channel, I should say.
Yeah. But anything like that you could, and if you have it, I would say preserve it. Like if you have any messages they may have sent you, or if you just if you have anything like that, I would definitely save it.
The 914-843 number, that would be. That's why I gave you that number. That's when I was selling drugs. We did use burner phones back then, so there wasn't a lot of contact with him on that number.
Okay.
But you might find some.
I mean, we won't be able to just get those messages. I'm saying now, like, if you were to have anything that you would be able to show, I'm not saying you do or you have to. I'm just saying if you do, I would save it. I would preserve it. Like, don't, you know.
Okay.
I'm more saying if you have something that you can be like, look at this, like, message here as because we can't just. I know. On TV they do it a lot, but it's like we can't just be like that phone. We know there was a message in it, and it doesn't work that way. So I'm more saying if you have something that you could preserve or have it, it would be helpful.
Okay.
That you can like show.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good day.
All right. You too.